Hi guys, long time no see. I feel like I say this at the beginning of every video that I film. And I really don't see that changing anytime soon, just because busy or not motivated, whatever you want to call it. But today I want to come in, check on you guys, give you an update on what's going on here, as well as tell you about this book event that I just came from about an hour ago. And yeah, so we're just gonna talk. We're gonna do a little chitty chit chat. But before I do that, can I just tell you about this lip that I got going on? Let me come a little closer. So look at this lip, this nice neutral lip. It is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude like lip lacquer in the shade Darling. Very Mariah Carey, Darling. And I bought 2 of these because look at, can't tell me nothing today. No, you can't. Okay, so basically just wanted to kind of give you an update on what's going on, and then we'll talk about the book event. So the last time I filmed, I think I was sick, or just getting over said sickness, but I ended up being diagnosed with bronchitis, and bronchitis didn't leave my body until about 4 weeks after I was diagnosed. And so it took some time to get out of my system. It took a long time for me to start actually feeling better. Just remember, my phone isn't muted, so we're gonna do that. Took a while for me to feel a little better, and now I feel great. But then by the time I felt great, we were busy at work and life just happened. So didn't really get to do a lot of filming, didn't really get to do much book anything. And so now here we are. About a week and a half ago, I found out that there was a book event happening in my city. I live in Kansas City, and it was gonna be featuring 5 local debut YA authors. 2 of which I already knew about because I got 2 of their books when I was at BEA in New York earlier this year. But the other 3, one was the librarian, the other 2 were just local authors in the Kansas City area. And I'm like, what? And so I went to the event. And so I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about that in a second. But update on Black and Bookish, which is my hashtag that I created for conversation on Instagram and Twitter and all of that. I'm brainstorming right now on what I want that to be. Not necessarily just a way for discussion to happen, but also like opportunities. Like if you need somebody to fill something, or you want to collaborate, or whatever. Like I want that to be a space for us to be able to do that. But I don't know what that looks like yet. I also want to potentially partner with some other YouTubers and content creators and maybe authors, I don't know, to just create some kind of support system for BookTube, Black booktubers. So I'm looking into that as well. I don't know, this is me like just vision casting right now. I don't know what this looks like. But I want it to become bigger than what it is. I want it to become more meaningful than what it is currently. Like there's a lot of great discussion happening underneath the hashtag. I've been contacted by people who, you know, just are grateful for the community. The spreadsheet that I created is still going. If you want in on that, it is the pinned tweet on my Twitter. So it's the first thing you see if you go into my profile on Twitter. So yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to do with it. Not necessarily sure what that looks like yet. So just give me some time to work through it. If you guys have any ideas, definitely comment down below. Would love to hear them. But yeah, so that's kind of where I am right now. Working on the blog. I still need to, actually I don't think I'm going to because it's a little too late. I was going to write a post about BEA and BookCon, but I ended up doing videos about it instead. So I'm going to scrap that idea. I still have interview to post that I did with 3 different authors a while back, but I'm waiting on something from one of the authors, and so that's gonna probably go live soon. I'm gonna write about this book event that I just came from, but I'm also gonna talk to you about it right now just because I thought it was really, really cool. And I wanted to share some of my insight. So this video is not really, you know, about one particular thing. I just thought it would be cool to come check in, but also tell you what I've been up to at the same time. So let's get in it. So I went to the event and there were 5 authors, but I have 4 books because one of the authors, her book doesn't come out till like September or something like that. And she ran out of ARCs, which was fine. But yeah, so I got a few things. So the book event was mainly geared towards teen reviewers and writers, which was really awesome. And I think they had like a whole day of an event called Talk Book to Me or something like that. And a bunch of teenagers in the Kansas City area got together and did workshops and all that kind of stuff. And it was really cool. 2 of the teenagers that were there, I'm actually aware of. I've known one of them since she was in the 8th grade. Hi, Leah. And then I just met her friend today. Which was legit. I really enjoyed talking to them. At the end of the whole event, there was a panel and then a book signing. And so I had 2 of the books already, but then they were giving away free books of each of the authors, and you can get 1 book, and if there was anything left over, you could get like a second. So I ended up getting 2 free books. And so I'm gonna go ahead and show you the books that I got. Some of these books you probably already know about. 2 of them you should because I've hauled them. But the first one I'm going to show you is by Adib Khorram, and this one you might be familiar with. It's called Darius the Great Is Not Okay. So I've talked about this one before, but I did not know he was a Kansas City local, and his book comes out at the end of the month, and he's going to have a event in Kansas City that I'm most likely going to go to. So he was there and he was the kindest. It was, I enjoyed hearing from him, and I'll tell you why in a second. The next one you already know about. This is L.L. McKinney's A Blade So Black. I got this, and the Darius the Great Is Not Okay. I got these both from BookCon or BEA, and I was just finally able to get this signed. I actually met L.L. McKinney during the Kansas City stop of the Bells and Brewhouse tour with Danielle Clayton and Zoraida Cordova. And Justina Ireland was there as well, but I didn't have this with me because how was I supposed to know that L.L. McKinney was local, and how did I know she would be there? And plus, awkward, it's not her event. But I'm glad that she was there this time and I got it signed, and I'm so pumped. Her book actually comes out next month, and she is also having a release, like, launch party thing that I am going to. Now, these next 2, I'm so excited that I got. One of them just came out this week, and the other one came out like at the end of, I don't remember, but these are both out. So this one right here, this is Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, and Sarah is so nice. Oh my gosh. This is kind of like a Little Mermaid-ish kind of retelling almost. That's kind of how she describes it. So I'm really, really intrigued. I don't usually do fantasies, but she sold me on it. So I really want to see what it's all about. Now, this next person, she was a librarian. It's so cool. This one is The Bird and the Blade by Megan Bannon, and Megan's style is so cute and quirky. Like, I loved it. She was so nice, so sweet. I loved her glasses. I loved that she wore like tennis shoes with her outfit. Like, she was just so cute, so poised, and I enjoyed listening to her because she was just so quirky funny. And I love how she says literature, because that's what she studied when she went to school. But she was just so cute and so fun. Like, I just loved it. It was just such a fun event. And then the last book that I don't have, this book is not out yet, but it is by Miranda Acevedo, and it's called The Deepest Roots. So she gave me a signed book plate that I'll be able to put in my book once I get it, which is totally fine. I loved this event. So basically, I went just because I want to support my local Kansas City authors. I didn't even know that was a thing. I was talking to a few of the librarians and people that work at the library, because we were talking about how I moved to Kansas City in 2010. This wasn't a thing in 2010, and now 8 years later, like, Kansas City is hopping when it comes to local authors and books and everything. Like, all of these books have the potential to hit the New York Times bestseller list, and I am beyond pumped, because it's like, Kansas City represent. I'm not a Kansas Citian, but I've lived here for 8 years, so I think I have to claim it. But also at the same time, it made me think about how I want to focus my time and my energy. Like, I've been going around the libraries and networking with the youth services directors and everything. I have been going to all these events, and I've been talking to some of the teenagers, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, why haven't I been tapping into my community? Why haven't I been doing this like the whole time? So it's kind of making me think what I want to kind of focus my energies on, maybe as like a specific section of my blog or a specific aspect of my channel. I don't know, like local Kansas City authors and writing and books and all that kind of stuff. And so I am excited because all of these authors have like events coming up for either their book releases or they're participating in other, you know, panels or whatnot that I'm gonna go to, because I'm like, oh my gosh, Kansas City has all of this untapped talent, and Bailey is hitting my ankle, and I know he's getting hair on my leggings. Hold on. Yeah, so I'm just like, this is a whole pool of untapped everything, and I just really want to shed more light onto it, but also just, I want to immerse myself into the Kansas City literature culture, I guess. Oh my God, Bailey. He's seriously getting hair all over me. Hold on. Yeah, so I am just really thrilled that I was able to make it to this event, and then through this event I was able to find out some other things that were going to be happening soon. So I guess lesson learned for me is learn about your freaking community, right? Because I just met 5 amazing, well, I already knew of Ella McKinney, 4 amazing authors in the Kansas City area that have debut novels coming out or are out, and I didn't even know anything about them. So I just think that's really, really cool. Like, way cool. So yeah, like, that's what this video is. I really enjoyed the event. Oh, let me tell you about Adib Khorram. So basically, during the event, they were, you know, asking the panelists questions, and then they were talking about reviews, like book reviews, like, do you like them, do you hate them, good, bad, blah, blah, blah. And then Adib, he brought up the point of, especially as we're getting into diverse books, diverse readers, representation, and all of that. So when we are reviewing books, we, as in people who are not part of the community that the book is about. So in his case, his book is about Darius, who is going to, I believe, Iran for the first time. When I am reviewing this book, I should be very careful not to speak about a culture that I'm unfamiliar with. I should be very careful not to review a culture that I'm not familiar with, because I don't necessarily have the background, I don't have the experience, I mean, I have the understanding, and I could unintentionally insult a whole group of people. And that's something that, even though I'm aware of that, like intuitively I know that, it was great for him to actually vocalize that, because it's something that a lot of people need to know. And it's also something that I need to think about as I write my reviews. Like, am I reviewing the book based on the experience that I had with the book, that I personally had with it, or am I reviewing a culture that is not my own? And so I thought that was really, really interesting, and I was so happy that he brought that up, and I told him that. Ella McKinney, she talked about how, you know, she didn't really see a lot of books with people like her in it. So she was like, I didn't see no books, so I wrote one. So I really liked that. And Miranda Acevedo was talking about how she wrote the first draft of her book in like 3 weeks, and we're like, huh? Like, how? Why? You know, learning fun facts about these authors was so cool. Megan Bannon, I just love the fact that she was a librarian. And then freaking adorable Sarah Henning, like, she was so nice. Like, she was just so nice. And I'm just really excited to read her book. One, can we talk about this cover? Like, let's just look at the cover. The cover is gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Like, it's so pretty. And it's like a perfect, like, melding of my favorite colors, like blues and greens and things like that. So I love the cover. And then apparently my heart is going to be broken with this one right here, The Bird and the Blade. And Megan Bannon was like, good luck, sis. You know, when you cry, make sure you let me know because I want to drink those tears. Like, that's her. And I'm like, okay, I got you. Okay, go. Yeah. So it was just so fun. I had a blast. And this is why I'm going to tap in to my local community. Local community, is that an oxymoron? Or is that like a double, is that like redundant? Not an oxymoron. Yeah, I'm gonna tap into my community because there's a lot going on here that I was so unaware of. But yeah, so that's what happened with me today. That's what happened with the event that I went to. It was a blast. Would love to know your thoughts on any of these books, if you have read them, if you are interested in reading them, and yeah, what your thoughts are on this video in general. I am going to go and I'm going to go eat because I'm always hungry. You know, I can always eat a sandwich. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next one. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed and make sure you like this video and click the little doodly-doo bell. I don't know what side it's on. I'm one of those sides. But yes, I will see you later. Okay, love you. Bye.